Welcome to the Tournament Poker Edge podcast, brought to you by TournamentPokerEdge.com, the only podcast dedicated exclusively to tournament poker strategy. And now, here are your hosts, RonFezBuddy and Killingbird. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tournament Poker Edge podcast. KB here with you, and I am joined by all of my greatest friends in the world. Actually, my only friends. These are my only friends. AZNL and 007, Big Dog Pocket Fives, RonFezBuddy. What's up, gentlemen?
What's up? What's up, fellas?
So we did it. We let like 2.5 weeks go by, and we recorded another podcast. Well, we haven't finished it yet, so...
Wow, 2 in a row.
I know, back to back.
And we got the star of the podcast back, Diego.
Yeah, there was a lot of people hitting me up saying it's just not the same without him, and we need him back. No, I'm just kidding. They were like, who's RonFezBuddy? No, there were, but in seriousness, there were a lot of people who were like, I'm really excited that you guys are going to be doing them more regularly now. So yeah, I'm excited about this. It's pretty cool. It's a little more loose than it used to be, but I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I think people enjoyed the episode. So,
yeah.
Speaking of the last episode, we do have some business we have to attend to before we get into poker stuff.
Business.
We got a little business. So if you listen to the last episode, you know that we decided we were going to do a little bet/draft for the Super Bowl, which is good because none of our teams are going to be in the Super Bowl. So this way we have something to root for. So what we're gonna do is
wait. Whose team has the best future? Let's be real.
Oh God! Please stop talking, Mark.
Oh my God! Is this sports radio? What's going on?
Oh my God!
Have we not seen Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, please.
Oh yeah. What are the 3 teams that he beat? Please.
Undefeated as a starter.
Tell me the 3 teams.
The Titans were 8-5.
Tell me the 3 teams he beat, please.
Playoff contender. We're
the
4-point dogs to Jacksonville this week.
The Titans?
Wow,
the Bears.
They're only 4-point dogs? Might get on Jacksonville.
Titans, the Bears, and who was the other shitbag team they beat?
I mean, Jimmy G looks good. Okay, moving forward. All right, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's a bright future over there. Yeah, it's real bright. I can see it from here. It's a beacon.
Beacon. And they'll probably have Cousins backing him up next year. So
yeah.
That's perfect. I mean, if he doesn't go to the CFL, it's hard to say.
Sorry, man. I'm just sitting over here with my fins up.
So hard right now to be a Dolphins fan. Okay, anyway. So we have to pick 3 teams each that we think are going to win. Wait, we never really decided. What if none of our teams win the Super Bowl?
Then nothing happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no winner.
No. Then it's a 3-way.
No.
We get punished even worse.
That should be it, Casey, if we can't pick a winner.
No, listen. That's not going to happen, but I'm not going to be handcuffed to both you clowns.
Well, you're ruining the surprise now. All right, Diego has to give us all pedicures if we don't pick a winner.
What?
Okay, I'm in for that.
No.
Oh yeah, should we discuss?
Well,
should we discuss what penalties were considered before we came to the actual penalty?
Yeah, start with the cucumber. Your great idea of the cucumber.
Oh yeah, so there was about 4 or 5 like that maybe were sort of in contention. One was to go to the grocery store and you could only buy you had to buy 3 and only 3 items: a cucumber, lube,
large cucumber.
Oh yeah, a large cucumber, lube, and a condom. It was pretty funny.
Can we switch to that one? I want to see Casey going in there, you two together, and buying 2 large cucumbers.
It is actually better because you have to go in as a pair.
How about if nobody wins, the 3 of you have to go do that together?
Done. I'm in.
All right, I'm in.
It's no problem. I'm in with that. I might do it anyway.
The other option was to do the 1-chip challenge, which I won't go into a lot of detail about what that is, but you can Google it and you'll see. But it involves eating something really hot, and Casey's not allowed to do that because he has a heart condition. So we couldn't do that. we also considered having to give the two losers having to give the winner a pedicure, which Mark was just adamantly against. Which I don't blame him considering the looks of my feet, and I doubt Casey's look much better than mine.
My feet are gold. I get pedis all the time.
He would probably is gout contagious?
No, I was more concerned with you two touching my feet and like sawing off my pinky toe.
We would just get really hammered while we did it.
Plus, it would be weird pedicuring a midget's feet, right?
It wouldn't take long though. Or do they have bigger feet?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
What are these, size 6?
And then there was one other one. Which one am I forgetting?
I mean, we did the shaved head. We did Rio costumes.
Yeah.
But we came to the best one, I think.
Yeah, I think this one is golden.
Which Diego came up with.
That's right.
Yeah, props to Diego. Well, of course he came up with a good one because he's not going to be in it.
Sick, twisted. No, but it wasn't too foul. Well, it could be foul. It really could be foul.
Yeah. Oh, body shots was the other one we didn't do. The losers had to do 3 body shots off of each other.
Alan gave us that one. King's Full.
And that one didn't make the cut either. But we might just end up doing that one too for that because that sounds fun.
I might do that one in a grocery store while buying a cucumber, some lube, and some time.
While getting a pedicure?
But yeah, I do think we came up with a better one, which is going to be that the 2 losers have to be handcuffed to each other for a 12-hour period. I think we're going to do noon to midnight, right? Is that what we decided?
And you're twitching it, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely Twitch that day. So that doesn't seem all that bad at first, but we also added the caveat that you have to go someplace 2 times. So you have to go to like a bar, a restaurant, the Rio, grocery store, something. And let's not forget that one of the 2 people's probably going to have to use the bathroom at some point in that 12-hour period.
Oh, I'm going to be shitting all day that day. And that's going to be my wipe hand.
Oh no! What if we're handcuffed by our wiping hands? We're gonna be all off. And don't forget, Casey, I stand when I wipe and you sit. So.
What? What the hell are you talking about?
Hold on, we need to rethink this, man.
No, it's locked in. It's locked in. I think you also have to.
I am not wiping left-handed.
I'm not wiping if we're handcuffed together.
You have to also think through
straight into the pool after shitting.
Yeah.
I already thought about that. Born. I've already been thinking about that.
I think you guys need to also think about what kind of power you give the winner to force you guys to go do stuff, right? There's got to be some sort of.
Okay, Diego, calm down, Mister. I'm
Diego,
not going to get
your back. I'm not playing sword over there.
No, what I'm worried about is if we go in the pool. And you guys want to go to the deep end, and I can't stand.
They'll carry you. They'll just carry you from the pool.
Done.
Seems like your issue.
I think it's only fair that if me and Mark lose, that it's my ankle handcuffed to his wrist.
Yeah, and so his arm don't get sore.
Oh God, I never thought about all this.
Oh, this is gonna be glorious. So we'll make sure to Twitch that day, but we'll do some like Snapchats and some videos. You'll see it on social media. Don't worry, including the bathroom visits. We'll make sure and get those included in there.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah. So we drew before the call for the draft order, if you will. We're each picking 3 teams. It's a snake draft. I am the lucky winner, although I don't know if I actually think I like the 3rd pick better now that I'm looking at all the teams. But I am the first pick. And because I believe in the odds makers in Las Vegas.
Oh, give them the Patriots.
It hurts me so much too.
Pansy!
As a Dolphins fan, it hurts me a lot, but I will select the New England Patriots.
Loser.
Well, I'm between 2.
What are your 2?
Steelers, Vikings.
Great. I don't want either of those.
I think I know who Casey wants. Can I guess after Mark picks, Casey?
Yep.
But then I wonder if I'm giving it.
It's probably the Saints, but that's fine. I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
I like that pick. They would have been one of my two.
I actually think Casey wants the Rams.
I do. I will take the Rams.
I like the Rams a lot too. I thought my one chance was that they might slip to me at the 6th pick, but no such luck. And Casey, you get to pick again.
Yeah. Torture now. I mean, the smart pick is the Steelers, but I just think that they're shit.
It doesn't help that Antonio Brown's probably out.
I don't know if he's probably out. I think he's going to be back.
You think so?
Losing Shazier and Roethlisberger is not what he used to be.
Yeah, Shazier is huge.
I mean, I'm gonna go with Nick Foles and the Eagles.
Okay. Does it hurt you to take a Washington Redskins rival?
Yeah, goddamn right it does.
I will take the Steelers. Let's get them. Now
Well,
Derek has his last two.
Oh yeah, I gotta go 2 back to back. I mean, I'm a huge believer in Alvin Kamara, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Saints to start with. Wow.
Look at you guys just taking them. Whoever the top team is available, you just grab them. You guys have no
I
imagination.
took the Vikings.
You have no
I took the
imagination.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna take this. I don't like this either, but I'm gonna take the Panthers.
Okay, I will take the Jags.
Nice.
Blake Bortles winning a Super Bowl. Yeah, okay.
What size is your wrist again, so we can get these things sized? All right, Casey, you got the last pick.
I'm really thinking about taking a team that may not make the playoffs.
Yes.
Seahawks?
Nope.
God, you know what sucks is he has the Patriots. Casey and I, we just get us fitted. His picks are perfect. Batman and Robin.
I am going to take. I mean, how do I not take the Falcons? It's retarded, but I'm really leaning towards the Cowboys.
Oh, wow. Pierre
You
would like
could've-
that.
Casey, you know you could have bet them last week at 150 to 1.
Yeah. All right, give me the Falcons.
All right.
All right.
The list is complete, so
All right.
I only wanted the Rams.
I like the Rams a lot too.
You know where Jared Goff went to high school, right?
Your high school? Really?
Ryan Catholic.
Wow. Well, hometown connection. He didn't believe, though. He didn't pick him.
No, give me the Vikings.
Give me Case Keenum. I'm ready. All right, so that is the list. I was going to say I'll post that somewhere. I guess I'll put it on, like, my Twitter or something. I'll type it up and send it out on there so people can favorite it and bookmark it for future.
And put it in the forum, too.
Yeah. Okay, so football prop bets are out of the way. We're good to go. I'm sorry, Diego, that your beloved New York Jets did not get selected in the draft.
Are you really?
I wasn't expecting it. Yeah.
Well, Jets or Giants, they're both horrible.
Yeah.
But you're not really
Jets
that
are
much of a
actually
football
better.
fan, right?
Nah, I'm not a huge football fan. More baseball, which bores you guys, I know. Well, at least
No.
Derek.
Just
I know
me.
Mark, you like
I
it.
think just me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Casey and I have a bet, 500 anytime the Giants or Jays win. Too bad we didn't do that 7 years ago. I'd
Yeah.
get 1,500. But yeah. All right, enough sports. Poker.
All right, poker. So what we need to do, we talked a little bit about this on the last podcast, but now the WSOP schedule has been released. So I think we dig into this a little bit. I don't think we need to go into a ton of detail.
It was leaked last time since I wasn't here, right? It was you guys got the leak and talked about.
I
some
think
of
it
the
maybe
leak stuff.
I feel like it had leaked like just after.
Diego,
Oh, okay.
you got it the day that the hour it probably leaked and started marking down what days you were going to take. You get more
I got
excited
it.
than anyone else.
I love it. Love it. Well, it's like vacation for me.
Yeah,
there,
and you
hang with the boys.
only get like a couple days too.
Yeah, I get a couple days. I don't get the the withered, been there 2 weeks, barely cashing anything feeling. I get that feeling in 4 days.
Are you saying we barely cash anything?
No,
So-
the grind never hits me. It's still fun.
Yeah.
for me.
So have you already identified like a weekend where you're like, oh, that'd be a
No.
I know it's like too far out for you to pick a weekend, but like, is there one where you're like, oh, that would be the one I could pick if I could go, that'd be the one.
It's tricky because some of the tournaments. I don't know if you guys talked about this last time, but there's a lot of stuff going on after the main event this year for the first time, which they've never done before. I think there's something like 15 tournaments after the main.
Yeah, because they put the main on the second, third, and fourth.
Yeah. Now, what do you guys think about that? Because I was thinking about this today, and I'm trying to think. The last day is on the 4th, which is obviously the day the casuals prefer because it's less time off from work, and it's a Wednesday. So the
And you don't get those days off though. You miss out on one day off, or like maybe even two.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I was saying if you're smart, play the 4th.
Yeah.
I'll play on my birthday and let Derek play on his. So just out of narrative street.
We could just celebrate our birthday like 2 days early or something. We need 2 days to recover, so we'd have to do it on like the 1st or something.
Or we just play day 1A, and then we have like 3 days off.
Oh, good point.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
But don't you think that'll be the toughest day, Casey?
No.
What, the
Why not?
3rd? It's not going to be the 4th.
I mean, it's all on table draw anyway. Any day can be tough and any day can be easy. Just play day one.
Yeah.
I feel like the 4th is a home run for everything Diego was talking about too.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to assess if it's going to impact the turnout because usually that last day gives the casuals a chance to do what they to miss the least amount of time. But now you're throwing it on the 4th of July, which is also a holiday, right?
The thing is, they probably already have the 4th off, right?
They probably do, but a lot of
then they could take another week off, like a weekend off after, like they could take a couple days off, right?
I guess you could just take Thursday, Friday. Yeah, actually, okay, that kind of makes sense. So if you're off on the 4th, but you have to fly out Tuesday, right? So you got to take off Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Would it be more ideal if there was a starting day on a Friday? Mm-hmm. They should have done the 4th, 5th, 6th. But I'm sure they thought this through, and there's angles that we're not seeing because they're not doing this lightly. But the other thing is, it's like for me, it's tough because the 4th of July is a holiday. My kids, they march in a parade. I mean, I know my story is not representative of everyone, but I think there's a fair amount of semi, serious players that have the similar situation. So what do you do? Because I was thinking about this. So, well, then maybe I play the day 1A because if I bust on the first day, then I'm home for the 4th of July. But then if I make it through to day 2, then I'm not playing until, what is it, Friday, the 5th? No, Thursday, the 5th. Mm-hmm. So now I'm in Vegas for like 17 days. Well, it'd be good, but but it's you have to take the whole week off just to plan for days 1 and 2. Right, so I don't know what the angle here is, what the right play is for the casual. I don't know if you guys thought about that.
Yeah, I really looked at it because when this came out, I was still in that mindset of like I'm probably gonna be there the whole time, so it's just kind of like I'll just play it whenever. But I think you do bring up some good points. I think that turnout's gonna just really depend on how much Bitcoin is worth by then.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, there's gonna be 20,000 people in this.
Yeah, everybody's just gonna.
I think it's cool. There are a lot of good tournaments after the main.
Yeah.
Which I think is super cool. Like the double stacks, 30-minute level, 15. There's a bunch of sick stuff after the main. So like,
I mean, if you were a casual, you were coming out just for the main. Well, I'm sorry, to the main to kick off your trip, and you play, day 1C, and if you bust it, then the next day you have a 1500. The day after that, you have the little 1-for-1 drop. You have two days of that starting, 3 days of that if you wanted to play it. So you could just book Tuesday through Tuesday and just make it a vacation. You miss the fourth at home, which is something you'd have to deal with. But then you could play, the main event and then a bunch of 1Ks for a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad.
And there's something to be said for getting out there when everybody else is, like you said, tired and withered and kind of chasing their losses, if you will. Yeah. And you come out
Except
all fresh.
Except for all the rec players will be gone by that point, and
that's true.
The people that are playing those will be sharky.
Yeah, good point.
You think? Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I do like the looks of these double stacks, though. Those look fun.
The double stacks
look funny that Mark wants to play a double stack. I thought he would want to play a short stack.
Whoa.
Zing.
Whoa. Diego is back, man. We've measured. Same height.
He takes it better, though.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed is that they got rid of just the straight-up 1Ks and the straight-up 1500s. I guess those just were not drawing people. No one seems to be getting excited for those anymore. So now every 1K or 1500 has a hook, right? It's the double stack. It's the Millionaire Maker. It's the one drop.
Mm-hmm.
So those are gone. The shootout. Yeah,
everyone's rich from Bitcoin.
Well, we got 7 months before. We got 6 months to go before we see it.
I was not a believer.
You were not?
Nope. I could have bought Bitcoin. Oh man, many people told me so many times.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I was looking at it when it was like $10. My brother-in-law was really into it, and I didn't do it.
And now he's rich.
No, he didn't do it either. So.
Oh. A lot of brain power in that family.
Did you hear about the guy who bought a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin? Did you hear that story? Yeah, everyone knows the story, right? Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that's pretty funny though.
Just $175 million pizza.
Yeah.
I'd probably off myself.
Yeah.
Like, there's no coming back from that.
I don't care how good the pepperoni was.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah. See, the other thing is, like, now I have to consider the fact that it's a lot longer. I mean, I guess you could just bail after the main, but if you're gonna stay, like, if you're talking about staying for the whole thing, like, it's another 2 weeks over what we used to stay.
Yeah. Well, is the tournament? Is the tournament? Yeah, I guess it is. The whole thing is extended, right? It's now. Yeah, you're right. It goes through to the July 15th.
Yeah, I mean, we always used to leave on like the 7th. Well, I mean, I guess that's like another week because we used to leave on like the 7th or whatever. I mean, unless you were still in the main, obviously. Like you'd play the main and then leave, basically. But now there's like, I guess it's only like another week of stuff, which is
no, that's not true. Look, if you play the main, if you play day 1A on the main, you're done, and you would be done on July 2nd. You're talking still 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, if you bust day 1,
it's a lot longer.
I never bust day 1, so I always bust early day 2. No, it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited about it.
The last 5 hands of day 2, and then wear a mankini.
Yes. We should probably post that picture on the podcast thread as well.
And are you guys playing the Giant, the Colossus, the 888 tournament? What are your guys' thoughts on those tournaments? I have not played any of those yet, so I don't have an opinion.
Fade.
Yeah.
Are you still on Team Fade, Mark? I hate those tournaments.
Yeah, I'm not into the Colossus. I mean, I get it, but like, I'm not like, I don't know. It's just a re-entry short stack. Like, if I was comfortable blasting like 10 bullets, I would play it, but I'm gonna own Diamond again, so. No thanks.
So would you then? But how do you feel about the marathon?
I feel like the Colossus Mark will be handcuffed to KB.
That might be the time where we do it.
Yeah. Wait, what tournament were you talking about, Diego?
The marathon, the 26-20 100-minute levels.
I'm gonna play that.
No limit, 100-minute levels, 26,200 starting chips.
So I'm gonna play that and bust level 1.
It's basically like a main event style tournament, but for a lot cheaper.
Yep, level 1.
That's a pretty cool tournament.
Well, that is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I prefer the stuff like, I mean, I like the stuff at like the Win, and I don't play too much of the Venetian stuff. That's like 2-3 days, good structures. I mean, a lot of the stuff at the series, we've talked about this a bunch, the structures are poo-poo. I mean, they've done a lot to improve them, though, looking at these double stacks and 30-minute level stuff.
Yeah, I think they've made the structures better in the past.
But like, there's tons of good value, and like, I'd rather play at the Wynn than the Rio. Like, give me USB ports and comfortable chairs over, like
glory.
50-year-old.
The glory.
I've never been about the glory. It's all about the dollars.
Well,
I mean, I'll still play bracelet events, but I'd rather win a trophy at the Wynn than a bracelet.
Yeah, I think
that was a lot.
I did make it a goal of mine this year to win a Wynn trophy, so I have to put in some time over there.
Another goal unrealized by KB.
Just add it to the list, man. Add it to the list.
Yeah.
All done.
Have you, Diego and Casey, when was the last time you played at the Wynn? Have you played at the new room?
I've never played at the Wynn.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
I don't think I've played at the new room because I haven't played there in about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's especially if you get into like the VIP, the high limit room. Sometimes they'll put the tournament players there. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, all brand new. Dealers are pretty good. Dealers are good. Dealers are probably the best. I don't know. It's just comfortable. If you're gonna be sitting there 12 hours, it's kind of nice to be comfortable. I mean, you can't be comfortable at the Rio. It's impossible.
Yes. All right, so let's do this. Help me pick a weekend, because I think this will help the other recreationals that are out there that may be listening. I'll give you the options that are out there. The first weekend. So I'm not the I can't tell. The Giant, I guess, this is the tournament that runs every Friday.
It goes like the whole summer basically.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna not even factor that in because I'm not. Well, I guess I could because if you make it. Because day 2 is in the money.
I feel like you and Mark should never play the Giant.
Well, I just want to feel.
Thank you for putting him in that.
All right, so I'm just not going to factor that into my decision. But the first weekend is the Colossus weekend, and really that's all that's going on is the Colossus, and so I wouldn't want to come out just for the Colossus. It's, for the reasons that you guys said. So we'll punt on that one.
Structure's horrible.
Yeah, we'll punt on that one. The next weekend, if it came out, we have a 1500 six max on Thursday.
Give us the dates.
Yeah, okay, Thursday the 7th. This is not going to work great because
that's six-handed though.
Yeah, six-handed. I like that.
Oh yeah, that really suits your style. You're pretty aggro.
Hey, I bubbled it the last time I played it.
Oh no, that's your accomplishment in life. Good. Oh, I bubbled this tournament once. Oh, putting it right on resume, line 1.
I bubbled.
Oh, I guess we found your weekend.
No, all right. So that one's on Thursday. Friday has nothing, so that would be a day where I'd go out to the Wynn or something else, like you guys were mentioning. And then that Saturday the 9th and Sunday the 10th is the Millionaire Maker, and I love that tournament. So that's a.
I like that one so far. That's a decent.
Oh look, and then the Monday the 11th is the marathon, so we can stick around for that too. Although that's a 5-day tournament.
That's a 5-day tournament.
Yeah, it's a 5-day tournament. So actually, that probably would not.
I'm not playing.
That's a marathon.
Yeah, it would suck to bubble that one. Okay.
I'm playing that for sure. What are you talking about, Mark?
Perfect. Casey, when you bust level 3, I'll be at PT's on the street. Monday, June 11th.
All right, I'll look under all the stools for you.
Casey is more likely to see the end of an actual marathon than the end of the marathon tournament.
Whoa!
Whoa, man. Come on now.
Oh, wow. My bad. It's just, with all the short jokes, I had to go with some. I had to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to go with a fat joke.
Yeah, basically.
Let me tell you about your mama, KB.
Oh.
That's a fat joke too. Oh, Mom, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Hey, Diego, you can come out the weekend of the 15th and play the seniors event.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. Now I'm 43, so I got 7 years before that one. But I was looking at.
Man, I actually get to play it before you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I don't know, you're making fun of me for. That weekend is not great for a rec unless you are a senior. There's the Friday is the seniors event, the 1K senior event. Then there is the double stack on Saturday the 16th. So if you guys don't know what that is a $1,000 tournament, 10,000 starting chips, 60-minute levels, 2 starting flights on that. So the Saturday and the Sunday.
Yeah.
So not a bad tournament.
No, I want to say if anyone was like coming out and wanted to play a tournament, like I people are probably going to look at the Colossus because of the buy-in, but I would save up the extra $400, $435 and play this 1K because I mean it is miles ahead structure-wise. You will get such a bang for your buck. The Colossus, you're basically gambling. Like just go play blackjack, like which can be fun. I mean, you can get a stack, but it's a little bit, it's basically a super.
Somebody has to win the Colossus, Mark. It might as well be one of us.
Yeah, I agree. But if it was my first tournament ever, I could never recommend that. I would always recommend.
All right, I'm recommending the Colossus.
The Colossus, though, the thing about I think what people like about it is you can fire a bunch of bullets in it too. It's just cheaper.
Well, you can fire a bunch of bullets in this double stack too. It's unlimited reentry.
Yeah, I know, but it's it's double. Each bullet is double the cost, pretty much, right?
That's true, but you're probably going to fire half the amount of bullets in the 1K double stack than you will.
Yeah.
So the Colossus structure-wise, what is it? Does anyone remember? It's 30-minute levels.
Yeah, the 30-minute levels alone makes it pretty bad to me.
It's a Colossus structure.
Oh yeah, they don't have the structure sheets up yet, but yeah, I'm 90% sure it's 30-minute levels. So.
Oh yeah, what's the starting stack? I always forget.
It might be. I think it's 5K.
5K.
Yeah.
5K, yeah.
It's not a lot.
So,
yeah. Actually, this double stack is looking pretty attractive. So it's 10K, 10K starting stack, 60-minute levels, and it's on the Saturday and Sunday. So and you unlimited reentry in all of them. So you could fire 3 bullets if you needed to, 4 bullets if you needed to. Although that would be expensive, but it's a pretty good. And then so it doesn't have anything in front of it that you could play unless you're a senior. But after it, there is
super senior.
No, there's also So if you're a senior, you can come out and play that. You could play the super seniors at 10 a.m. on Sunday, so it would conflict with the double stack. But you could play the super stack on Saturday and Sunday, and then there is a 1500 on Monday. One of the few 1500 without any catches. And then on Tuesday there's a shootout. So that's actually not that right now is my top candidate. That's the weekend I think I'd like to come out.
I don't think if it was my weekend, I would take the Millionaire Maker weekend.
Well, I love the Millionaire Maker, but there's just more tournaments to play on the following weekend. But I do love the Millionaire Maker. But I guess also to Mark's point, you could play the Millionaire Maker and then surround it with tournaments at the Win and anywhere else for even lower buy-ins. To kind of
there's another double stack too. Isn't running a bunch of them?
Yep, let's keep going with that. So then the following weekend, if we're going to keep going with this casual analysis, so on Friday the 22nd, the next weekend starts with a 1K no limit 30-minute level, so you got a turbo to start on a Friday. There's a monster stack on the Saturday, 1500 on Sunday as well.
Derek, that's your favorite event by far, is Monster?
Yeah, and that's like my favorite weekend. Like if it was me coming out, I'd come up for that because I also love that bounty on Monday, the 1500.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then you have a bounty on Monday, so that's a good weekend too.
How does that work? Every person you bust, you get $500.
Yep.
500 bounty. Yeah. Yeah, and what's going to happen here for me, just like it always is it's going to depend on when my daughter's dance recital is, when the kids finish school, and I'm just going to have to take the weekend that I could make it. But let's make believe I have a choice in my life. All right, so then the next weekend is the tag team is on Wednesday the 27th. So I know you guys love that. I have not played that yet, but that looks fun. Friday the 29th is a 1K Super Turbo Bounty. It looks like the bounties are $300. Also on Friday the 29th is the 1K Online Championship. So that's something to consider. It's a pretty busy Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday is the 888, the Crazy Eights. So that's full of there's a lot of options that weekend too. And then that Monday, the second starts the main event.
That weekend's kind of cool too because you could play that 1K Turbo Bounty. It starts at 11, and because it's actually it's not even a turbo, it's a super turbo, which means you're either going to run up a
Which
stack
means
or
you're burning money.
yeah, to some degree. But then if you bust by 3:30, that's when the online 1K is.
Yeah.
That should never be your goal.
No, I know.
I'm
But
play this so I can bust by a certain amount of time, so I can drop another time.
but you want to have backup plans,
Yeah, my backup plan is always the bar.
Ah, good point. I don't think I've ever busted a WSOP
PTs.
tournament and then played another WSOP tournament. I'm just too withered afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be going straight
All right,
to
so-
PTs.
So now let's look if you're a casual, the post main event schedule. So you got the main event, the second, third, and fourth starting, and then of course that runs through for a couple days. That weekend is the little one for one drop, the 1K one drop, Saturday and Sunday and Monday. So you basically have a couple of bullets at that. If you were coming out for that weekend, there's no real other smaller stake. Well, I guess actually
Thursday is a 1500.
Thursday's 1500. I missed that. Right. So that's another one of the, non-gimmicky 1500s, just straight 1500 tournament.
Yeah.
You also be looking at Venetian and Wynn too to pair.
Right.
Like, just because it's the World Series, like, such better structures elsewhere.
Oh, I totally agree. And as we get closer and those schedules are released, then we can, we'll do one on that podcast. We'll go through the best options all around. But
yeah, that's going to determine when you go, Diego, because if there's
that's true.
Because their mains are a lot cheaper too, and just the amount of chips, structure, everything is.
Yeah.
I'm not against playing at the World Series.
And so then let's look at the end here. So they've never done this before. They've never had 2 weeks of tournaments after the main event. But they have done the one drop has been after the main event recently, right? The little one for one drop has been after the main event. They've done something, right? Okay, so that's not new. But then the 10 tournaments after, or the 13 tournaments after that are. So for casuals, getting into the next weekend, you start on Wednesday so you have another double stack, but this one's with 30-minute levels. So that's a little bit of a twist, right? So the first double stack was 10K starting chips with 60-minute levels. This is 10K starting chips with 30-minute levels. And there is only one flight of that. And it doesn't say anything about unlimited reentry. It's actually only a 2-day tournament too. So if I was out here, I'd probably play that. And then they have the closer, which is a Thursday, July 12th, 1500, no limit, 30-minute level, 1 million guarantee. And that's on the Thursday. Oh, and there's a Thursday and a Friday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So you can buy into that 3 different days. And that's it. Then it closes with the big one for one drop, the 1 million.
Yeah,
which they brought back.
If I'm a recreational player and I'm just looking for like a 5-day period to come out, I'm probably fading that end of that schedule.
Me too.
Like I think Casey's spot on. There's gonna be a lot more probably sharks out at that time.
Yep.
And the tournaments just aren't as good structure-wise and stuff. Like play the monster stack weekend or play the millionaire weekend or one of those or the deep stacks or whatever. That would be my opinion. In fact, the more I look at this, the more I'm like, I'm going home after the main event.
I wonder how that's going to affect. I'm curious to see how it plays out, what kind of turnout they get for those tournaments.
I just know myself well enough to know that I'll be like tired and ready to go home by then. Assuming I'm there the whole summer. But
there's always a fade out time.
Yeah. And for the recreationals, there's also the element of, I don't know how much this matters for others, but for me, it's also, hey, if I do decent in any of the tournaments I play, it gives me more of an incentive to come back for the main event. Mm-hmm. Like if I cash, or make any deep run, not that I know it's not the best bankroll management. I'm not playing this necessarily for bankroll purposes. It just gives you that chance. Or even if I get a chance to play a satellite while I'm out there. With the tournaments afterwards, that's done. There's no chance of you playing the main event if you only come out for that.
Yeah. You could play the big one for one drop, I guess, for $1 million. But...
Yeah. If you ship one of the other tournaments. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we'll keep once the other casinos bring out their schedules, and as we get closer and we all start planning our trips, we'll definitely get back together and talk about the other options and what people are deciding to do. Yeah, it was fun to plan this out.
I dig that.
Cool.
Right on. All right, I guess we gotta talk a little strategy here, huh? Enough fun and games. All these prop
Get
bets.
to the good stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna get these hands up and ready to go. As always, well, actually not as always, but as always for now, today's strategy segment brought to you by PPI Poker, Casey's poker site. You guys got to check it out if you haven't already done so. Head over to ppipoker.com. Use the code TPE when you deposit. You'll get a 100% bonus up to 1K and a free bounty hunter ticket, and you might even get to knock Casey out, which would be fun.
That'd be the trifecta.
The trifecta, if you will. So, go over, check out ppipoker.com. There's a link down below as well. Get on it. What are you waiting for? Cool. All right, so I got a couple of hands. I've been putting in a decent amount of volume lately, so I've been trying to remember to mark some hands occasionally.
Can't wait for these.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good times. I'm trying to decide if I which one I should start with. I think I'll start with the sixes hand here. Does everybody have that one handy?
Oh, I see what you did there.
What's a handy? I have the hand up, yes.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so this is from the 1K guaranteed. They call it the final table experience on ACR, and it basically means that you start with a bunch of chips, essentially. So that's why these stacks look so huge. Although I do believe this is quite deep into the tournament because the blinds are 15,000, 3,000. It might even be final table, possibly.
And you're in it?
I know. I don't make many final tables, but when I do, I usually play a hand really bad, so that's why I brought this hand today. Okay, so yeah, blinds are 15,000, 3,000. I'm sorry, 15,000, 30,000. We have 1.13 million in the small blind.
And that's like average-ish for the table?
Yeah, that looks a little...
30, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
30.
I was going to say a little above average, but not really, because there's a guy under the gun with 2 million.
Yeah,
there's
you
a
got
couple
34
of guys
big,
a little
so
shorter.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
How many bigs did you say we had? 34?
About 34, looks like.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, 38. Yeah. I have my HUD up because I'm actually using the replayer, so it's 38 bigs.
38 big blinds?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 38.
38.
Yeah. So it folds around to the cutoff. Sorry, hijack. Who, for reference, is running 22-17, and he min raises to 60,000. We see two folds, and then I am in the small blind with pocket sixes.
And he has the exact. You guys are same stack.
Yeah. Yep. So I guess this is actually a good place to start because I think there's two possible options here. I don't think folding is an option, and I think we can all eliminate that one, right?
Yeah.
So I guess let's start with you, Mark. What are you? Well, actually, no, let's start with Diego, the new guest.
I just call. Yeah. The new guy on this podcast. Yeah, I just call here. I mean, I'm out of position. I don't want to get 3-bet. I want to see a flop with this. So yeah.
All right. Mark?
He's got the same chip stack base. Actually, he's got almost exactly the same stack, right? So both pretty deep.
Yeah. Yeah, and for the record, the big blind has pretty much the same stack too. He has 40 big blinds, just a little bit more. So.
Yeah.
Mark, do you see any reason to ever raise here?
Yeah, I don't like flatting really at all off these stacks, especially out of the small blind. I mean, whatever. Effectively, we can set mine. I get that, but we're in the small blind. I just don't want to play out of position. In the big blind, I'd probably just flat because the price is that much better. But yeah, I may 3-bet out of the big blind too. I don't want to stuff, but if you stuffed here, it's a lot. But I wouldn't say that was bad. It's a lot, and I don't recommend it, but I wouldn't think it was a bad play at all. I think 3-bet folding, is probably where I'm at. And I'd probably 3-bet definitely on the bigger side, well over 3x, maybe 3.5x, just because we're out of position and kind of want to discourage a fold.
Let me ask you a question about that, Mark, because this is something that pops in my mind, I guess, since I've started playing poker. The concept of, all right, you want to bet bigger because you're out of position, you don't want it to come along, but then when you do get called, you're playing out of position with a bigger pot.
Yeah, but, I mean, you can just see
the dichotomy of that.
You can just, c-bet, on certain textured boards and then check give up on some.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
And you don't have to c-bet. Just because you're making a pot bigger, you're still controlling the pot once you 3-bet, rather than being the passive.
Yeah.
You know, like if you flat here, you're checking like 95% of the time to the guy that's going to c-bet like 80, 90% of the time in this exact spot, this exact stack. I'd rather take the initiative and just basically reverse roles. Like, now I'm taking the lead, and you get folds.
Right. So the larger you're playing out of position with a larger pot, but that's balanced by the fact that you are now you have the lead in the hand, you're the aggressor. If you were playing it passively and calling bigger bets out of position, then that
I don't really have a calling range here.
Okay.
In this exact. I mean, I suppose I do. I would just be 3-betting most of the hands I would consider flatting, because anytime you compare the two, very rarely am I going to be like, oh yeah, flatting's better than 3-betting off 38 bigs from a late position raise when we're out of position. Mm-hmm. Like, if we're in the big blind, it's a different story because we've already invested half as much. And like, my flatting range out of the big blind is so wide that, I'm fine having pocket pairs in that range. But most of the time out of the small blind, I'm either 3-bet or folding, like, off this specific stack size. If we're deeper, I could find a flat. Casey, I want to ask you, because I think you and I, like, don't really care what the norm are doing, but, like, would you ever ship here, or is it a bit too much? Like, I feel like you may ship 35 or 30. I know 30.
I mean 30, but I mean, to be perfectly honest, KB showed me this hand early, and we didn't discuss it in detail. I just said I think you played it bad. And the reason I was saying that, and I hate to admit this, is I would be 3-betting here too. And for all the reasons Mark said, +1. The other reason that I would be 3-betting here is when I flat, I know that the big blind's going to flat too, because he's going to be getting a great price. Yeah. So when I 3-bet, he's more than likely going to fold. And even if the other guy does come along, my equity in my hand goes up significantly when I'm playing sixes against one guy, even if it is out of position, as opposed to two.
Yeah,
very good point.
Of course it is.
Wait, but so you wouldn't shove like 30? What about like 32?
No, I probably wouldn't go any more than 30, to be honest with you. I think 30 would be a fine shove.
It depends on the antes too. Sorry to cut you off.
And plus, it's a final table, so now money jumps, start to matter and stuff. And I just think, like, the more chips you're shoving, I'm not sure that anybody on the table has a huge edge on me. I'm not sure I want to put myself in a position to dust off 40 bigs in a spot where if I do get called, I'm probably crushed.
Yeah, I guess a lot of it would be like, I would like to see his raise first, like how often he's opening from this spot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also I would like to know a little more about the big blind would be nice. So, like, I don't know, game flow, I could see like if he was opening a lot and like just abusing the fact that it's a final table and people are playing tighter, I may just shove 39, and it's probably not the right thing to do, but I don't know, like, what are you gaining when you shove? Like,
I mean, I don't think it's horrific, but I never do it here. I would never find a shove here.
I think you gain around 5 big blinds, which isn't like, it's probably not enough. Like, it's way better with like 30. Like, going from 30 to 35 is something. I'm not sure going from 38 to 43 does anything. So yeah, I'm kind of with you there.
Cool. All right. So it sounds like.
Why don't like Derek? Why do you guys? Why is it instantly flatting here?
Well, I think one of the reasons I brought up this hand is because when I looked at it, I wished in my mind I was like, this is like a pretty good spot to 3-bet. And I was actually kind of thinking for some of the reasons Casey said about like not wanting to go 3 ways and being out of position, so that. I flatted, and I think I have like a flatting problem. Like, I flat a lot. I flat 3-bets. I flat raises. I'm just a flatter by nature for some reason, and I really need to. I mean, we talked about it when we reviewed hands, right? Like, my 3-bet percentage is really low.
If you were much deeper here, like effectively, like the big blind, like everyone had like 60, 70 big blinds, like I could see flatting because your expected odds, like when you bang a set. Like, you're just going to win a lot more chips. But yeah, like the chips that are already out there, like of his opening range is so wide, like you're just not going to be winning enough when you flat.
Yeah.
Whereas you'd rather take the pot down, pre-flop.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do flat here, and I think it's, like I said, I think it's just one of my leaks that I have. I do it all the time.
I mean, flatting's not horrible, but it's,
no.
And you know what? To be quite honest, this isn't the worst spot in the world to flat. You are deep enough where flatting is okay. I just think 3-betting is better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think flatting here is bad.
No, neither do
give
I.
you that impression.
I just think when you compare the two, when you compare the two, Casey, let's not sugarcoat it. I mean, 3-betting is a lot better.
Yeah, 3-betting in this spot is better, but I don't think flatting is awful.
Yeah.
Like I've looked at some of KB's hands and I'm like, oh my god, that is brutal. And this isn't one of them.
Also, like, just the fact that because I am trying to like find more spots to 3-bet, like, it disappoints me that I'm not even 3-betting in like the really good spot, like the really easy spots, Like,
well,
I mean, you can make arguments to 3-bet like King 6 suited here, and I'm not, that I would be okay with missing.
To help
this
your flatting problem, what you need to do is realize you can 3-bet fold.
Mm-hmm.
Because part of the reason people flat is because they're like, well, I don't want to turn this into a bluff and have to fold to a 4-bet. But that doesn't happen nearly as often as you think, and it doesn't really happen when people are light as often as you think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so if I 3-bet and this guy like jams in my face, well, he just had a huge hand that I was going to lose anyway, probably.
Right, more than likely.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And generally, when you're flatting here, most flops you're floating.
Yeah.
So you're basically going to put in your 3-bet chips anyway.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
But without control of the pot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Taking the initiative is key. Like, I don't mind if the guy flats either. Like, it's not the end of the world when he flats because people overfold the C-bets. Like, and you can get good boards and you can flop a set. Like, you also can rep a way wider range from 3-betting. Like, all of a sudden you have all the aces, a lot of King X and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think, and I'll just speak for myself, I think it's lazy to just. I mean, I think it's lazy. It's just easy to flat here, right? It's less anxiety. Not anxiety is not the word I'm looking for, but it's an easier, more straightforward type of play where you don't have to make harder decisions. I
kind of get the anxiety aspect of it. Like, you're like forced to put in more chips now, like bigger pot, gonna be C-betting. But to be honest, it's the best way to play the hand. So. Right. Like, getting over that anxiety is, key.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good way to describe it. Like, it is stressful to put in a 3-bet and know that you might get 4-bet and have to fold.
Right.
Not for Casey. He'll literally 3-bet here and just go 3 and then go swimming in his pool.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta realize that it's okay to 3-bet fold. Like, you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
I have a funny story. So when I was playing Sit and Goes, it's a quick one too. I was playing Sit and Goes. Casey, kind of took me under his wing. He's like, all right, come, let me show you, like, how to play poker. And, like, the first hand he plays, like, a guy opens, and he 3-bets 8-3 off. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, EP opens, he's EP2, and, like, I was just mind blown. I was like, what the hell? And, like, ended up winning a massive pot. Not to be result-oriented, but I was so, like, blinded to what the 3-bet actually did, like, that we could 3-bet 8-3. I'm not saying that's like a great play or anything, but he was just showing me that just find your balls, like, look between your legs and fire.
Yeah.
And also, sometimes it's not about your cards. Sometimes it's about what hand do they need to combat what I'm just about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because Casey could have ace, like, Casey's kind of repping. Like, when he 3-bets under the gun open, he's kind of repping the top, like, 5, 6, 7%, like, ace, king, kings, and aces, like, and he has 8 high.
Right.
Like, it's sick.
The greatest is when they flat and you flop, like, 9-3-3.
Yeah.
And he has aces, and he's like, I got him now.
That's funny. Okay, so, back to the hand. We do end up flatting, and as Casey predicted, the big blind calls as well. So there's 193.5K in the middle now, and the flop comes 8 deuce deuce, 2 spades. As a reminder, we have pocket sixes, and we're first act. And I guess since we've kind of taken this passive line, checking is probably like this is this is the greatest flop for when we 3-bet and only get called by the original raiser, and we just get to c-bet and win this pot every time.
Yeah, you see it like 1/4, 1/3 pot and win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead, I check, which now this is always weird because you guys wouldn't have played the hand this way. So we always kind of go through this like, well, I wouldn't have played it this way, so I don't know what I would do here. But I guess pretend for a moment that you played it my way. Are we just always checking here?
As played.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Big blind checks as well, and the villain bets 75K into the pot of 193K, and I can't imagine that anybody's going to say we're folding.
No.
Okay, so we call and the big blind folds. So hey, good, we did it, guys. We got it heads up.
So I don't want to belabor what seems like a relatively easy line, but I mean this is a call for me every time, and anytime I watch poker on TV, it just seems like this is a call. But that's what everyone's doing. Is there a zag here that we could do? That's is there any argument for doing something like?
I think leading is okay. Like
yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
It's just so hard for me because I wouldn't have played the hand like KB said. I wouldn't have played the hand like this. But like leading's okay. I think check raising is probably out of the question. Like it doesn't seem horrible, but we're just kind of protecting our hand, trying to win the pot. So like I guess check raise isn't okay, but like, I don't know. Like
as played for me, I'm only check calling. I'm never leading.
Why are you leading?
I don't have a lot of leads in my game, to be honest with you, in this spot. But I don't hate it. I'm just, as played, I'm probably just playing it on this street. But I would have 3-bet pre.
If you lead here, if you don't lead and it goes check, like you're just that sucks, obviously, because now you're giving 4 cards another turn, another street. I'm not leading often here, but I don't think leading's the worst. I think like it's okay to lead, especially if you're going to be leading like flush draws here. I think it's good to have some value hands, like made value hands.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm more than likely I'm probably check calling here like over 80% of the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and that is what we do. We check call. The other guy folds, like I said, so we are heads up. And
okay, Derek, I want to ask you something.
Yes.
What? Tell me this hand now. What's going on? Like, what do you think he has? Like, where are you in this hand now? You're in no man's land.
Yeah, that's a lot of the problem with not 3-betting here is that he can literally have aces, but he can have all ace X's. He can have all Broadway cards. He can have a bunch of pairs. Like, I have literally no idea where we are.
Yeah, because Casey, you'd be c-betting this board 3-way 100% of the time, correct?
100%.
Yeah, so like you literally have no clue now, which is fine. We just have to proceed carefully, I guess.
No, you're right. I find myself in this spot a lot where it just becomes impossible to narrow ranges because we're never giving him a chance. He never has to react to anything. He's always has the lead, and he's always doing firing 3 bullets a lot of times here with a lot of his range. I find myself in this spot.
Think of our range. Like we have some 8s, we have no 2s. Like we don't some. I guess we could have ace deuce suited. It's kind of unlikely. We shouldn't have ace deuce suited, but whatever. It can be in our perceived range. Like we have some 8s, like 7-8 suited, 8-9 suited,
8-9
maybe.
suited,
And then we have like pocket pairs. So like, he can range us. Like our range is kind of face up. It's like okay, like when we call, like.
You mean once we call the flop, right?
Once we call the flop, yeah. It's
right. Then we got.
we have some floats, but
if I'm the villain here, and KB calls, I'm like, all right, this guy has 6s or 7s. I know 7 comes in a turn, so we're not there yet. 5s, 4, like it just, or he has a.
9s.
Yeah, 9's possible, yeah.
It's possible, but like probably not. I mean, a lot of times nines is gonna 3-bet here.
3-bet. Yep.
But I wouldn't rule those out.
Yeah.
We just don't have any 2s though, so we're not fully nutted.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so 343k in the pot, and the 7 of hearts rolls off on the turn, so the board is now 8 deuce deuce 7, and it's on us. I mean, again, we have the problem of not having played the hand this way in the first place. But Casey, it sounds like you're probably just check calling again based on what you did on the flop.
Oh, I don't know if I'm check calling.
Okay, checking.
I'm checking.
Though. Okay, I shouldn't have said check calling, but checking.
Yeah, I'm team. I think all of us are team check.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, as played, I'm team check 100% of the time here.
Yeah, I think this is the one we'll probably all agree on, at least the check part of it. And he bets 118,000 into 343k. So we're getting 3.9 to 1 on a call with.
I mean, dude, this is so great because this run out is why we don't flat.
Right.
Right.
This is just so perfect. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So like we check, he bets a third, a little under a third, or a little over a third, whatever. Like so now it's one of those decisions like. If we call here, what rivers are we calling with? Are we just going to give him credit when he 3 barrels?
Right.
Yeah.
This
tough.
looks pretty value-y to me. Like.
Yeah, but like he should be bluffing similar sizing too, Derek.
True. That's true.
He only really has to he doesn't really need to protect against. I mean, spades he could protect against.
I recognize this name. Is he a regular? Derek, do you know?
I have 342 hands on him, which
it's not a ton.
amazingly isn't a lot on this, just because you play with the same people so often.
Yeah. Okay.
And in fact, I would bet a lot of those are from this tournament. So.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I don't think he's necessarily a reg, but I mean his stats are pretty, 22-17. I mean that's pretty, reggy type stats, I guess. Yeah, this is a gross spot. I hate to keep belaboring the point, but this is why 3-bet pre is so much better. But considering the price we're getting, is anybody folding here?
I'm either folding or jamming probably. I mean,
what?
Are you just making up your mind that you're going to check call the whole way? Like.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
I'm probably jamming or folding. I'm probably not calling here.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I'm just prepared to see the river, no matter what it is.
Right.
I would need like a sick read on the situation, like whether it be timing or like maybe I have a stat up where he turn barrels X amount of the time to jam. Casey, don't you think you'd need something else that would like tell you to jam? Because yeah, I don't know, like.
No, I don't think I need anything else to tell me to jam because I'm not just flatting here again.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying, but like at this point, I just make a decision. I'm like, do I really just?
Well, the thing is though, if you think he's bluffing,
if you think he's bluffing, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if you think he's bluffing, just shove it in.
No, but you might be better off just bluff catching the river as well.
Yeah, what if you? I wanted to ask you that, Casey. If you think he's bluffing, why not just bluff catch?
Oh, because if I think he's bluffing and with King Jack, then I'm giving him a King or a Jack. There's enough equity in this pot for me just to blow him off his bluff.
And if he has spades, you actually get it in good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good.
So I see that argument. I would want a little something else, like just knowing he double barrels in 3-way pots or something like that. Like if I was able to.
Sometimes you can't get that, so you need to make up your mind whether you want to shove or fold here. Like I really don't think flatting is an option for me on this street. Like, what is my plan on the river? On friendly cards, I'm just calling. Is that my plan?
It's just like such a tough spot because I just wouldn't play this hand this way because like
that's what I'm saying.
Like it's perfect this happened because. Like and don't be result oriented on base out, but like a lot of times you will be in the spot like where it comes Jack 4 deuce and you're getting bet into with 6s and you're just like cool, like I'm gonna call off 30% of my stack. So, like, I get jamming and just, like, win the pot now, see you later. I almost like that. I mean, I don't hate calling. I just, like, what are you going to do on the river?
This is
right.
what's going to happen, and we can't see the results. I feel like KB's just going to call down on every street and be good here. But I still think the hand is played fucking awesome.
And that shouldn't matter if he's right. You know what I mean?
That's why I've been purposely leaving the result. Like you noticed in the last two
I
podcasts.
like that you leave the results out. But,
see,
you know, I probably am going to fold here, but there's times when I'm just like, you know what? This guy's full of shit. I'm all in. But I'm not just calling this street unless for some reason I've made up my mind that any card under a 10 is going to be friendly, non-spade, and I'm just going to call it off.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
I never do. That's never my plan.
Yeah.
It's not a bad plan to let someone bluff off, especially like against you. If I was against you here, I could totally see myself.
What happens when it's a queen?
Yeah, but I mean that's a really good card for him to bluff, you know. So then like you're like
that's what I'm saying. So you're just calling off anyway, like.
I know you're really not folding ever once you call the turn.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You're not folding when you fold a turn, so just shove because maybe you get folds.
3-bet pre. Yeah, but it's cool to it's okay to let him bluff the river because if you do shove here and he folds, you're missing out on like 300K, 500K, whatever. If you think he's bluffing,
and he doesn't get there. There's a lot of equity in the pot already.
Yeah, you got to remember this is 3 ways, so like I tend to believe he's stronger here because our range kind of says like we have something because we could like spades we may check raise the flop, something like that. So like I don't know, like I'm kind of with Casey, like I'm more just team fold here and like let's go, like whatever. I already made a mistake calling pre. I'm not gonna lose 3 streets. Yeah.
Call pre, call. No idea.
I only have one button on my client, okay? It's a call button.
This is just time out. It's not an excuse.
Okay, so yeah, I think I agree with you guys. I think I probably looked at the price and I was like, oh great, he bet a third of the pot and I'm getting this great price. So I guess I call like the fish that I am. So I do call, and now there is 579K in the middle. And the river is the 5 of diamonds, so the flush doesn't come in. It's 8 deuce deuce 7 5. I mean, if we were hoping for a good card on the river, I guess this is it.
Yeah, but here's the problem, Derek. Like, yes and no. Like, this is a card that he's kind of unlikely to bluff. You know what I mean? Like, if it was an ace on the river or a king or a queen, like, he's so much more prone to bluff because it's an over to the card. Right. It's part of his range with spades. Like, if he bets here, like, I am not happy calling. Like, I'm not calling. Like, and if he's bluffing here, like, wouldn't even care. I'd be like, okay, like he would literally have to bluff spades here. And if he's gonna bluff spades, why not just jam on the river instead of like putting in some value-y bet? I mean, the value-y bet is nuttier as a bluff, but I just don't think in a 1K, people are thinking on that level.
Right. Yeah. So, just for the action, we check, and Villain bets 334K, and I'm assuming everybody's folding. But I mean, it sounds like you're folding, Mark. Casey, are you?
I never get to this street.
Yeah.
Without all my chips in the middle or my folds on the.
I'm probably folding here too, Derek, for a lot of the reasons that Mark said. But I will say that more times than I'd like to admit, I've called here, just sort of thinking.
I mean, as played, you kind of gotta call. That's what I'm saying. Like this hand is so bad. Like there's 20 bad things in this hand.
The run out is so bad to bluff though. Like, I mean, he's literally repping aces and like, I don't know. People are so much more prone to bluff shove this river than the value bet bluff.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he has the winning hand, but I also feel like KB posted this because he finally got one right.
You know what I mean? I kind of agree with you. He's gonna have like ace king of spades, and KB's gonna like flex.
I put him on a flush draw.
It's gonna be like, oh, who got max value out of that?
Yeah,
got him.
3-bet pre, suck it.
Yeah, see, if I would have 3-bet pre, he would have jammed ace king suited, and then I would have lost because I would have had to fold.
All right.
So
I'm dying to know.
we do call, which I think it sounds like everybody agrees is terrible. And he turns over the 6-9 of diamonds.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
So he has the nuts right in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the listeners who are probably trying to remember what the exact board was, it's deuce, deuce, 5, 7, 8. So 6-9 gives him the straight on the river. So basically, I wasn't bragging. I was posting a bad beat story.
Yeah.
So it looks like
That sizing on the river, value bet.
Yeah.
That's why you shove on the turn.
Yep.
Ooh, that's why you 3-bet pre too, or shove pre.
Yeah. Everything was better. Everything would have avoided this calamitous result. But I mean, obviously it's really unlucky to lose that hand, but I think it demonstrated like 3 streaks of mistakes.
I think you deserved. No, I think you deserved to lose this hand.
I kind of did.
And I'm happy it was as painful as that.
I think you deserve to lose your backing.
Shh. Don't give him any ideas. It's funny too because this is the kind of hand like when I play this 6-9 hand like this, I'm so happy when that 5 rolls off. I'm just like, oh my god, this guy has like 6s and he's not gonna fold. I got him.
Like, I'm hoping this was during the charity stream and you're hammered.
I actually don't know when this was, to be honest. It's just some old hand. Hard to say.
Oh, great. Just great, Derek.
It was in June. This was probably in Vegas at the World Series. It's June 17th.
You should start a new site, How to Butcher Every Street.
It's my new YouTube channel. Check it out. youtube.com/butchereverystreet. I'm just kidding. That's not a real URL. Don't type that in. All right, so we messed that hand up pretty good. This is no fair. I have to get ripped on every 2 weeks now. It used to be like every 3 months.
Actually, I like the way you played the hands on the last podcast, didn't I?
I think you kind of. I think there was one that you were kind of like, meh. Like you were like, it's not your worst hand you've ever played, but it's pretty bad.
This one's pretty bad.
Derek, I'll be bringing hands on the next podcast from the Borgata Winter Poker Open.
Nice.
So,
Okay,
so we'll have hands to beat me up on.
All right, good. I'm taking the next one off. All right, so we do have one more hand. I actually can't remember if I think I played this hand good or not, but I guess we're about to find out.
When I looked earlier, I thought this was a much better played hand.
Yes. Good.
Psych!
Psych does it.
All right, so this is the. Oh, that is the wrong hand history. This is the wrong hand history. This is the $33 12K mega stack on Carbon Poker.
Ooh.
That might be the first Carbon hand history we've done on the podcast. All right.
Carbon.
What's that?
Look at you plugging Carbon.
I know. I wish I had an affiliate link.
Wait, where is the hand? I got the same hand. Oh, wait, maybe it's this. Hold on. Can you put the hand in chat for me?
Wow.
I think I can.
Wow. Now I'm gonna have to edit the podcast.
Marcus is
okay.
so stupid and
This is the new laid back podcast that we don't worry about editing.
All right, thank you, Chirp.
Oh, you got it already? Okay.
I put it in there.
Good job, Casey.
I meant Casey.
Why don't you go bungee jump off the picnic table, you idiot?
Hey, well, you'll be handcuffed to me when the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
All right.
I'll just spend 12 hours reaching up.
I may have a shot to live, though, if that happened, because you would fall first, and then I would land on you.
It'd be like landing on a waterbed.
A very hairy.
Oh my god.
All right, so here we go. We're at 600.
Oh, I got aces.
This may or may not be another bad beat story. It's hard to say. All right, we're at 600, 1200. We're under the gun with pocket aces. We have 28.4K, so that's 24 big blinds. And I just went to the other hand without trying to. And we just min raise to 2400. It folds around to the hijack, who flats. He has 32 big blinds to start the hand, and everybody else folds. The flop is 3-8-8 with 2 spades. Actually, this is at first I wasn't going to ask this question, but I guess I will. Well, yeah. Are you guys c-betting here 100% of the time? I guess I shouldn't say 100%.
Then I'm not, just because if he is playing some sort of small pocket pair, trying to set mine or something, he's gonna float here just to float. Thinking you have ace kings or ace queens and stuff in your range. So you're missing value by checking here.
Yeah.
He also may bet those some of the time for protection check too.
You're right. That's why I said most of the time.
I'll say one thing. If we had the ace of spades, I'd say I'm checking like just way more often than the 2 aces we have.
Yeah.
Just because we would have backdoor flush draw. And like if a spade came on the turn, I wouldn't be that upset. One thing I'll say is we're opening under the gun. And Derek, I've talked to you about this a lot. When you open under the gun, especially off the stack, we have 22 bigs, roughly, right? 23 maybe.
Yeah, 24.
When you get flatted, like usually that's a pretty strong range. So like if we whiff this board a lot, like with king queen suited, some of the time I would just check give up because he needs such a strong hand to call an under the gun open, especially since he's short himself with like 35 bigs or something, or
32.
32.
Yeah.
So yeah, based on that, like because I think he has a strong range, I don't know. I'm kind of like torn because if he has a strong range, kind of want to check and just let him bet. I'm kind of cool with both, to be honest. Like, do you have numbers on him?
I do. 16, 11. I only have 56 hands on him, so I don't even have a fold to c-bet percentage because I've never c-bet against him. So
yeah, throw out those stats. They're worthless.
Yeah, it's not much help. I mean, I guess you could say he's been tight-ish for 56 hands, but it's not worth reading much into.
So Derek, I mean, I think you're kind of talking about this, but for me, I feel like I'm always betting here. What was the thought process behind checking? Like, why did you check? I'm just curious.
I think I was thinking like that. I don't necessarily need. I don't think I'm gonna get 3 streets all that often. All that might be a fallacy, and I don't even know if I need 3 streets to like get all the chips in on the hands where he's gonna put more than a street of chips in. If that makes any sense.
It's close. It does make sense. It's close. I think you would need to bet 3 times.
Yeah,
I think the more I look at it, I see bet a pretty big percentage here, just because then it allows me to check turns, and he may think, you know what, he's got ace king, I'm going to steal this right now.
Right. Yeah. So like you're saying, if we're going to show weakness, let's show it on the turn where it looks way more realistic.
Right.
Because we would see bet like pretty much our whole range. Like we would see bet all our pairs, all of our ace x.
I see. That's the weird thing. That's what I used to think. But, like, honestly, that's, like, you got to realize he has a pretty tight – he should have a tight range here when he's calling a 23 big blind open under the gun on the cutoff. Like, he should have a tighter flatting range. So, that to me, that means we shouldn't be c-betting our entire range here.
Yeah.
Like,
we should be c-betting aces.
Yes. I mean, if I had the ace of spades, I'll check some of the time, but like just because it's.
I agree that you're not going to see bet your full range here, but I think that with aces here is like almost every time.
Yeah, because of his. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but yeah, because his range is tight, I do like c-betting.
Yeah, and also if he has something like, let's say he has like 6s, or even like maybe he flatted 9s or something like. By checking, we give him a chance to like get away from that when like scare cards come on the turn too. Like if all of a sudden the turn's a king or something.
The thing is with that range though, like think about it if you were playing this hand and for some odd, actually Derek, you may play 6s like just flat and under the gun open off of 22 bigs and flat them. But if you got checked to here with 9s, 6s, 10s, whatever, you would bet. You'd have to bet.
Yeah,
so like
true.
I'm like that range of pocket pairs, I'm not even worried about. But my goal here is to extract the most value, and like, I don't know, I'm torn. I feel like I would bet just because we don't have the ace of spades, so that gives him.
Well, I mean, because you think his range is tighter, that's even more reason to c-bet in my mind, because he's gonna float with a lot of hands, and he is in position. He's gonna float with a lot of hands, and he's gonna float with the hands that he actually thinks is the best hand at times.
Mm-hmm.
So then, if you do check on the turn, that's when he may fire out a bigger bet, and you can get all kinds of creative on that.
And even if he does just have the ace of spades, like ace jack off with the ace of spades, he's like floating that 100% of the time.
Right.
So
100%.
because we don't hold the ace of spades, like I am c-betting 100% of the time. It's just like with the spade instead of 10 times.
Yeah,
But,
and even a bunch of hands like with just the king of spades, like king queen with the king of spades and stuff like that. Like he's gonna probably float all those too. Like he's floating everything.
if he's
much.
flatting, for sure.
Yeah. So I think in hindsight I like betting more. I don't really see any reason to get too tricky.
Just when I thought you played a hand good, you fucked up the first one.
I always find a way to mess it up on some street.
The problem is I asked you to explain your thought process, and that's where it all went wrong for you.
See? Don't make that mistake again. So it goes check, which I assume at the time I was like, dang, he didn't bluff. Deuce of clubs on the turn, and now obviously time to put a bet in. We bet 2,200. I actually kind of think I could go bigger, don't you, Mark? Or Casey? Or Diego?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those spots where you're getting called or he's folding regardless of sizing. So I would be greedy and try to get more, especially since we checked the flop. Like, we want to build this pot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the fact that we checked is going to make him call even more with, like, he would probably call ace queen here if we bet like 3,500, like, because we look pretty weak.
Yeah, I mean, if he has anything, he's going to call. Unless you do something really weird and crazy, whatever he calls here is probably his call. It's not going to be as affected by the bet. I think he folds if he has nothing.
Mm.
Like, what's something though? I feel like something would have bet the flop. You know what I mean? Like when someone checked, I don't know. I feel like something would have bet the flop. Like, and I don't know what the turn can't help him.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, I don't know. Like, as played, I'm almost...
right. You're right, because if he has 9s or 10s, he's probably betting the flop, right?
Or a flush draw. Like, he's probably going to bet the flop or now the turn. I mean, it's... I don't think we're making a mistake, but I think we should bet, though. Now, we need to make chips. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
So we're all betting. I do bet, but I think I just bet too small. I bet 2,200. Could probably make it like 3K or 3,500 or somewhere in that range.
I'm doing like 31, 33 or something like that.
Yeah.
It pops into my mind.
That seems reasonable. He calls the 2,200. So now there is just under 12K in the pot. We have 23K back. That's the other problem is like now we can't like bet bigger for value. Like by just sizing up a little bit on the turn, we could bet more on the river. But anyway, the river is the 9 of spades. So now the board reads 3, 8, 8, deuce 9 with 3 spades. Anybody not betting here?
I'm betting here.
I'm betting here, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, you got max value here because you massively under-repped your hand on every straight. Like, you check the flop, and then you bet a super small amount on the turn, and then you bet 4,000 into 12 on the river. Yeah. Your hand is so under-repped, it's absurd.
Yeah. Yeah, so as Casey said, we bet 4,200 into 12K, and the villain makes it 12K even, which is pretty fun. So it's going to be, I guess, 8K to win 28. We're getting 3.6 to 1. I mean, I don't know. I guess this is interesting. Like, when I was looking at this hand, like, at first I was like, well, I can't imagine anybody's going to fold here. But I guess I
don't know.
Then I transitioned to but what's he bluffing with?
What's he bluffing?
Right, but then Casey kind of convinced me that our hand looks so weak.
Yes and no. Like on the turn, it kind of did, but like you are betting the river again, so it kind of looks like you have something.
Yeah.
You know, like, are you just gonna bet ace king on the turn and then you're gonna bet ace king on the river? Like, I'm folding the river. I'll just go ahead and say it. Like, I don't really.
Yeah,
I'm snap calling the river just because the way you played it. If I'm in his shoes, I'm like, this guy's played this really weak. He's not that strong. I'm gonna put him to the test.
Yeah, but what's he got? You're saying Casey's weak. So what does this guy have that is weaker than what Casey?
I'm
Derek has?
saying that he thinks KB is weak.
That's what I know. So if he thinks KB is weak, I mean, what does this guy get to this point with that's weaker?
And I feel like if he thought he was weak, he may make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, like to float the turn with complete air, Casey, because he doesn't pick up anything on the turn. Like he doesn't have 4 or 5. It's not like he picks up some sort of straight draw on the turn that now he's going to turn to a bluff. So we would have to like check back flop.
What if he has ace queen? He decides on the river he's not good enough, but that KB has something like 4.
Well, that's very specific. Then it's like.
Yeah, I mean, he would also need the ace of spades because it'd be a really good card to bluff with the ace of spades.
What if he has king queen with the king of spades? Like
that's also a good card to bluff with.
That's a good card.
I'm just saying, like maybe that he thinks KB has something like 4s here or something like that, and he's like, listen, my only way to win this is I'm gonna jam the river.
Here's the thing, like. Whatever. His stats that KB said were really tight. 16-10. Yes, it's 56 hands. It's 56 hands, but whatever. Like, so it's not nothing, but it's not like I said, throw it out at the beginning. But like looking at his sizing too, like knowing that and like I don't know, I just find it hard for him to be bluffing here when like we're betting the turn and the river.
I never fold this river.
To me, I could see him bluffing if he has exactly ace X with the ace of spades. Then he's fine. But to me, this looks like a value raise.
I'm never folding this river just because of the price I'm getting and how passively and how under rep my hand is.
Yeah, that's kind of where I got when I was looking at this hand by myself because I played it so weak. My hand looks weak. And like he makes a really good amount too. Like he makes it. When I say a good amount, I mean like a good amount to make it look like he could be making a move because he leaves himself like over 20K.
Okay. Here, I understand that. But think about this. Like, if you're going to be bluffing, Derek, you got to remember the stack sizes. If you're going to be bluffing, you would always bluff the flop. Like, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that this is like a really good board to c-bet to most. I don't think it is based on ranges and whatnot. We're not going to get into that. But, like, you would just c-bet all your bluffs here. Everyone in the world would. Like, not everyone, but 90% of people would just c-bet bluffs here. And now, like, you're betting the turn and river as a bluff, or, like, he just thinks he can get you to fold, like...
But it's super small.
But I just don't think
but, like, on this run-out, it's so weird, like...
Do you ever have KB on aces here, ever?
I have him on a hand that I don't... like I said, I could bluff here if I had the ace of spades. So if he has the ace of spades, I'm giving him props. Like, it's a good bluff, but...
I just feel like most...
What does he have?
I can't imagine, to that point, I don't think most people have a bluff here in their arsenal. I think, like, top... Like, you guys are top players, and so you're thinking this way, but I just don't think the majority of players on Merge or Carbon or whatever this is on are going to have that in their arsenal.
I think there's bluffs in this guy's range.
Yes. Yes, but I just think it's
there might,
small.
yeah. I think they should have the ace of spades. I mean, he could have, like, twos full. Like, twos full makes a lot of sense, too, checking back the flop. Like, although I wouldn't do that, I could see a lot of passive players checking back pocket pairs and, like, just getting there. Maybe just flop the joint. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of what 90... Like, this sizing, like, if he's going to bluff, I feel like it would make it bigger. Like, it's set.
Yeah, but
it's 8K.
Let me ask you this. Do you think he raises here with 10s for value because of the way KB played it?
I think he may have bet the flop with those or, like, 3-bet got it in. I think he bets the flop with 10s. I don't think he
What
does.
about 7s?
I mean, again, I kind of think he bets the flop. Or he should be betting the flop. I don't know if he is. That's a possibility. I don't think
he needs a spade. I admit there's less bluffs in his range with it being a spade. It's just I can't find a fold here ever.
Because Casey, think about the price Derek is getting. Maybe we can add up the pot real quick. I mean, it's 8K more to win how much?
28-2. So it's 3.6 to 1.
This could not be a worse bluff. Like, if it is a bluff, like he's like giving Derek the greatest price ever.
Right, and I'm taking it.
Yeah, but see, you can look at it that way, or you can look at it where I think Diego and I are coming from, that it means it's more nutted. Again,
I agree that it's nutted a lot of the time, but as the way it's played, I'm calling here for this price.
It's a good discussion. It's good.
Yeah.
I would fold if I feel like I would fold if I was playing my best. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I feel I would snap call if I was playing my best.
And snap call when he's playing his worst.
What does he have, KB?
So for the listeners, we did call, and he showed us the 4-5 of spades. So he turned opened a straight draw and a flush draw, and he hit the flush draw on the river. So that whole checking the flop thing went great. Although he would have called anyway, I guess, with the flush draw, so it wouldn't really probably matter.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to say, too, is that I kind of would have expected him to bluff on the flop with a flush, or bet with a flush draw. So much for me. Remember, I was like, he can't have 4-5, guys. I was like, there's no way he has 4-5. Like, KB's opening off 20 bigs. This guy's flatting in the cutoff. So he has no chips invested other than the ante. Can't have any 4-5.
As it
Guess
turns
what?
out.
I mean, just $33 buy-in, too.
Yeah. It's tough fields out there, man. Tough fields. Well, apparently they're all getting the best of me.
I lost 7,800 more chips than Mark and Diego would have, but I've got to lose that pot 4 times there.
I'll tell you what, Casey. Had he shoved, I would have been way more. I probably would have called had he shoved.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Although, like, Derek has a really small stack, so, like, I don't know.
I mean, it brings up the question, though, if that's the 9 of hearts. Isn't it an absolute nutty bluff? Because he bricked his draw.
Yeah, but I would tend to think he would just shove, because that's just how people play. Even though I don't think that's the best way to play, I think he would have made it bigger. I mean, the price he's giving Derek is like, Derek could call with like ace high, and it's probably not the worst call ever. Like, I don't even think calling here with aces is bad. It's just,
I'm just saying, like,
obviously,
I don't think it's a horrible spot to bluff if he does have 4 or 5 of spades.
Yeah, I just worry that a guy on carbon's gonna make it 8K more, like Diego said. Like, I could see that happening in like a fucking 500 on stars, like, because it is such a sick spot to bluff. But he's not thinking on that level, Casey. He just flatted 4-5 suited in the cutoff from a 20 big blind open.
He could never have 4 or 5 there, Mark. What are you talking about?
Hey, fuck me. Like, that's why this game's sick, right?
Pretty funny.
It's a $33 buy-in, too. It's not like a Timby. Like, it's a decent tournament. Like, was this a night owl or something, like, late when people are just fucking pissed off because they lost all their buy-ins on Sunday?
I think it's the Sunday, like, the big 33.
Yeah, see, we needed that before, because then we could have given him the 4 or 5.
Darn it, we should have known.
Yeah, if I would have known it was that, I wasn't going to call the river.
Casey's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Big 33.
Oh, it's the early bird. It's a mockingbird. Good. Okay, yeah, I would have called.
Oh my god.
Cool. All right, so that's what I got for you today, guys.
I think it's been a good podcast for you.
Yeah, those were 2 actually good hands, like, for once.
Yeah.
Not that
Really
you
good
played them well, they were just good discussion.
Well, I'll try to keep the good discussion. Oh no, I don't have to do it next time. Diego's turn.
I mean, besides the check on the flop, I don't think you played this hand back, KP.
Thanks, Casey.
Yeah, but Casey, even that we agreed isn't not horrible.
No,
Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
All right. Good job not being not horrible.
If you want to go
That's
back
true
to
stuff.
the first hand,
that's going on my gravestone when I die. Wasn't horrible at poker.
Was not horrible.
Was not completely terrible at the game. Rest in peace.
He even lied to himself on his tombstone.
Oh, wow. Damn. That's cold.
Wow.
Sorry.
You finally got needled, Derek. It took the whole podcast for you to get
Sorry.
needled. And it was Diego, thankfully.
I saw a spot and I took it. Sorry.
That's right. I'm gonna get my revenge in 2 weeks. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, it's not till the tournament's not till mid to late January, so you may have one more podcast before.
On. I'm gonna make Mark play a session just so he has to bring 2 hands.
I have some hands. I have some hands.
Ooh.
I will likely be playing some warm-up tournaments online beforehand, so I'll try to bring some hands. But honestly, that's it's hard to get monitor space with all the crypto trading that's going on right now. I don't know how I'm gonna fit a tournament on my screen.
I hear you. Yeah, next week it's gonna be. So I sold Bitcoin at 8K. What would you guys have done on the downside?
No, seriously, at the series, like, you're gonna have to worry about what Bitcoin's at, because that's gonna tell you if you should call or fold on Rivers. Like, just be like the mood of the Rio. It's like, oh, Bitcoin's down 20%.
I mean, I don't even know how I'm going to play a tournament, because I'm going to be away from my computer just in case Ripple hits its like lower level of buying signal. Like, I don't know what. It's going to be hard to get away from the computer.
Oh, good stuff. Well, we have that to look forward to at least.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Let's wrap it up. Hey, by the way, it's almost Christmas, so happy holidays to all the listeners out there. I hope you guys have a great time hanging out with family and friends, or opening presents, or whatever the hell you guys are doing on Christmas. And happy holidays to you guys, too.
Yeah, happy holidays to everyone out there, and I guess to these 3 blokes on the call here.
Yep.
Oh, so sweet.
Isn't it great, Mark, that you can walk right under the tree?
He waters the tree. He's the guy who waters.
Hey,
the tree waterer.
Hey, I'm closer. I'm closer to the presents. Deal with it, like.
Closer to the presents. He makes the presents.
All right. We're out. Gotta just end on that.
Oh, the old elf on the shelf.
Actually, I have to go. My wife texted me. I have to go move Mark before my kids wake up tomorrow.
I have to move Mark.
Dude, I hope everyone listening to this podcast realize this doesn't stop in Vegas. Like, it's every day.
Oh, Mark on the show. Oh, can we Photoshop a Mark on the show?
Oh my God, we gotta do that. Oh yeah, we gotta do that.
Just a little picture.
Viral.
Just Mark sitting on my mantle over my fireplace.
Yeah, right on the fireplace.
Oh, okay. Before this gets too carried away, let's wrap it up.
Hey, you gotta get on that.
All right, I'll try to do some Photoshop work.
Aliato on a shelf.
So once again, happy holidays, everybody, and thanks for tuning into the podcast, and we'll see you guys next time. Later.
Peace.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas Plays. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. Lock in intuition, play the cards with babes to start. And after she's been hooked, I'll play the one that's on her heart. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I'll get her heart, show her what I got. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I'll get her heart, show her what I got. Can't read mine, no, she can't read a mile. Poker face, she's got to love nobody. Can't read mine, no, she can't read a mile. Poker face, she's got to love nobody. Poker face, poker face. Poker face, poker face. I wanna roll with her, a hard pair we will be. While little gambling is fun when you're with me. I love it. Russian roulette is not the same without a gun. And baby, when it's love, it's not rough, it isn't fun.